What's the next in the most name? Oh. And what could that mean? I already told you. Officers, exactly. And what do your officers need to do? They need to get it trained. And look at you. If you're a VPM or VPPR, you are getting the training. So that's a half a point, but by the end of the year, you have 4 officers trained in the beginning and 4 in the end. And what do you get?
Another slice.
Ooh, it's looking delicious. Okay, your officers, they got to do one more thing. What could that be? They have to get an officer list into the headquarters, and they have to pay the renewals on the time. And what do you think happens when the officers do that? A slice of pizza. Now, why do you think it's so important to get that officer list into the headquarters? Do you think what headquarters needs to know who to talk to? They need to know who's in charge. They need to know who the Don is. Yeah. So they can get the information back and forth. Also, too, they need to let the district know who is in charge. And there's another thing that I mentioned earlier about the training. I know a lot of people say, why do I have to come to training to begin with? I know everything there is to know, but you never do. Do you think Chef Gennaro learned how to make the perfect pizza the first time she went to training? No. It took a lot of times to come to training. The first time I got the recipe and I learned how to do the basics. The second time I met all the other chefs and I learned it from those chefs. They told me the secrets to their success, and I learned so much more. So coming to the training a once and a twice and a 3 times, oh, it makes all the difference in the world. So that's the O in Mo. And what's in the next letter in Mo? E. And what does that stand for? Education. That's right. So what's the Toastmasters program all about if it's not about education? And we have 2 tracks, don't we? What are those 2 tracks? The first track is communication. And what is the second track? Leadership. So when we achieve these special designations within those tracks, we earn awards, and then we earn goals for our club, right? Right. So let's talk about those. The first thing we want to do is have our members learn all the communication aspects, and then when they finish their competent communicator manual, what do they get? It's not a slice of pizza. They get a competent communicator designation, right? So isn't it important that the people in our clubs learn and that they participate and that they earn these things? Yeah. So when they earn 2 CCs, you have 2 different people who earn a CC, what do you get? Another slice of pizza. Another slice of pizza. Okay. Do you think that 2 CCs for a club that has 20 members is enough? No. So what do? We got to get another 2 people to get a CC for the club. And then when they do, what do we get? Another piece of pie, another slice. Okay. So now we move on to the leadership part. No? Yes? No. We keep on going in the communication part. And what happens after you get your CC? What do you want to get next? An AC, an advanced communicator. So when another person, and even the person who got the CC, it's okay, they get an advanced communicator, bronze or silver or gold, what do they get?
Another
slice of pie. You got it. Those are your birds. Okay. And then you get a 1 or more AC, and what do you get? Another slice of pie. Ooh, looky, it's getting to look pretty good. So now we go on to the leadership track. Yes? What do you have to do to earn a goal? You got to get a competent leader, an advanced leader, or a DTM. You get any one of those members into your club to do that, and what do you think you get? You get another slice of pizza. We're up to 9. What is it going to take to get that 10th slice of pizza? Anybody know?
Elder leader.
1 more AL, 1 more CL, AL, or DTM. And we do that and we finish our pie. And my stickies aren't working. All right, and there you have it. A beautiful, delicioso pizza pie. It's so good. Not finished, because I gotta tell you, if finish this by, you get all 10 goals, and you get the supreme, the blue ribbon of baking, the 10 for 10 distinguished, President's Distinguished ribbon. But you know what? You don't have to have all 10. You can do it with just the 5 goals. Yes. And what do you get? You have a distinguished, your basic distinguished program, which is a pretty good thing. And if you get a 7 goals, what do you get? You get a deluxe, and then you get a selected distinguished. And if you get 9, you don't have to have all 10. You get a 9, you get a President's Distinguished. It is an excellent pizza pie, I promise you. And you know what happens? You get a banner for your ribbon on any of these 3. It's really wonderful. And you get the 10 for 10. There's something special coming for your club. Yes. And so you see, it's really not so hard to make a DCP pizza, is it? It's pretty easy. So how come not everybody's making the DCP pizza? I don't know, but are you going to make it this year?
Yes.
You got the recipe?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm a Janetta, and this is a Mo, and we say arrivederci.
Thank you, Chef Janera. And I do see a few more dignitaries have come in, and I do want to recognize one special dignitary that I left off the list earlier. This is our special guest who's joined us all the way from Austin this morning, and she is definitely quickly becoming a mentor of mine. She is our Region 3 Advisor Marketing. She is a distinguished Toastmaster, and she is a past international director. Please help me welcome our special guest star of the day, Lark Doley.
Thank you, everyone. Good morning, District 56. It is a golden honor for me to be with you today. Any of you who know me, such as Carrie McGee, know that I wear gold to symbolize the gold of our organization. And today we've already learned about a golden pizza pie. So if you achieve 9 or 10 goals, you are golden in my book. I don't mind silver and bronze, but gold is the best. Who is responsible for mining for new members in a club? Who's responsible?
Everyone.
Everyone. If you are a Vice President of Public Relations, please rise. If you are a Vice President of Public Relations, please rise. All right. Now, how many of you have served in this role before? Raise your hand if you've served in this role before. I knew I would have some takers here. All right. What is the role of the Vice President of Public Relations? What is the major role of the Vice President of Public Relations?
Get the word out, get the people in.
Get the word out and get the people in. Brilliantly said. Okay, VPPR. Get the word out and get the people in. Brilliantly said. All right. If you are a Vice President membership, please rise. All right. How many of you have served in this role before? Raise your hand. All right. So, yes, David. So, what is the role, the major responsibility of the Vice President membership?
To make sure that everyone feels welcomed in your club when they visit, and to make sure you invite people back.
Okay, and?
Signing people up.
Absolutely! So, you may be seated, VP memberships. So that VPPR helps get them in, and guess what? You got to sign them up. Get them in and sign them up. Well, that's all we need to know today. No, let's talk about this even more. I love gold. So, the presentation today is none other than mining for membership gold. How did you learn about our organization? Why did you even want to know about our organization? Why did you decide to attend a meeting? And how did you find a club? If you are a member of Toastmasters who's been in this organization a year or less, please rise. All right, so how did you learn about Toastmasters and why? Did you even investigate?
Originally, about 2 years ago, I had a colleague who was participating in Toastmasters, and that's the first that I had really heard about it. And I joined my new company about a year ago, and we have an active club.
Great. All right, and you are?
My name is Tom Riley.
Tom, great to meet you. All right, so tell me how you learned about Toastmasters, why, and how did you find your club?
I'm a volunteer for the Houston Area Women's Center. So they had their first Toastmasters meeting. We're still working on getting our chapter. I'm sorry. I just charter. I'm learning about the ums. And
That's okay.
No, I just realized it's like, wow.
She's a Toastmaster.
I'm a buyer in the oil field. I have to talk a lot in front of people, and I also started my own business, so I have to talk a lot in front of people. So Toastmasters is an asset to me.
Great. All right, and one more.
I learned about it at work. A few co-workers had joined Toastmasters years ago. They told me about it.
All right, great. Give them a round of applause. All right, so we've heard that individuals found out about it through people at work, through friends. They joined the organization, joined the company organization, perhaps joined community organizations. So, prospecting for members. What is our target market? What is your target market for prospective members? So when we are mining for members, where do we go? What is the target market for Toastmasters in general? Everybody, right? Now, there is an age requirement. What is the age requirement? 18. Does that mean that you can't have children come to your community club meetings? No. Does that mean we can't hold youth leaderships for youth? No. It means we can do all of that. But to actually join the organization, you have to be 18. So any breathing human being can be a member of Toastmasters, right? All right, so where can we mine for those members? Well, it depends on where you're located, where you could mine. You could mine anywhere, but if you mine for members in Dubai and your Toastmasters club is in Freeport, is that going to do you much good? Well, only if they have family here, that might work. So you need to mine for members within your area. Now, what's the difference in mining for corporate members and mining for community members? If the corporation is a closed club, then we'll probably have to mine for members only within the corporation, right? And if we're community, then it's probably wise for us to mine for prospective members within that local community, unless people want to drive across town, and of course we never know. So, public relations, we said you're responsible for getting the word out and getting those guests to the club meeting. Well, how do we find those prospective members? How do we inform them about our organization and the benefits of our organization? And how do we entice them to come to our meetings? I want to find out if you know the answer to that. On your tables, there are golden sheets of paper. And what I want you to do within your groups, pass those around, and I want you to spend 5 minutes with your table discussing those points. So, begin. Hi. Pass those out and begin.
My club is not a corporate club, but it does occur in a business.